Yeah. Y'all know who it is. Y'all know who it is.
Yes, my brother.
Yes. It's Mr. Galloway, the extraordinary executive producer, Hendo. We have a special guest, a very special guest today. My man, Mr. Jimah. What's
Thanks
happening,
for
my
having
guy?
me. What's good, my brother, man? Thanks for having me. You already know I've been wanting to do this for a while. I watch your show. It's amazing. So yeah, it's an honor for me to be here today, man.
Absolutely. Likewise, man. I was telling Hendo, man, I'm super excited about today's show, man. So yeah. So I guess let's cut to the chase.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You just gonna get right into it?
Let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. So
Yeah,
Okay.
my
Mr.
so I go by the name Mr. Jimah. Basically Jimah is my last name, so it's literally just my name, you know. I'm from the UK. First of all, I'm a dad. Got three beautiful daughters. Just just found out yesterday. I'm having a fourth, and it's a boy. So
Congratulations.
finally got my boy. So yeah, I'm from the UK. I'm a rapper. I'll say I'm a conscious rapper. I'm also a producer as well. So I produce more or less everything that I release. Um Unless it's like a collab and I'm featuring on someone's track and then they've got a beat from someone else or they made the beat. So yeah, I started teaching myself to produce during the whole lockdown. So literally just YouTube videos, I got Fruity Loops, legit got Fruity Loops,
Right.
and just teaching myself of YouTube videos from scratch. And then yeah, so here we are now. Um, with the music, I've been rapping for a very long time. So I started in my teens. So I'm not sure if you guys know what grime is. Like grime is it's basically a genre that
Okay.
started in the UK like ages
Hmm,
ago.
Mhm.
So I started doing grime. It's basically like rap, but the BPM is about 140 and up, so it's quite quick. You know,
Yes, yes.
yeah, it's quite quick. So I started doing that for a while, but then I stopped. Then I started again, and then I came to rap because grime kind of not fell off, but it kind of got a bit quiet, and a lot of people just started to rap. So I started doing that, and then I was on and off for a while, being distracted by things you shouldn't be doing, things like that.
hmm,
Not really having time to really focus on it. And then I stopped for I think it was about 7 years, 7, 8 years. And then during lockdown, with my workplace, I was on furlough. So, just getting paid to stay at home, isolate and all of that. So I just thought, you know what, let me just kind of like get back into it. So I started writing again. And at that point as well, that's not like I said, I started making beats again, because it's something I've always wanted to do. But when you just never really get a opportunity. So I
Right.
said, you know what? Let me just right now I'm not working, I'm on furlough, got a lot of spare time. So let me just, try it. And I think at that point as well, because when I just came back to doing music, I lost a lot of my contacts from, all those years ago. Cause,
Mhm.
I had a lot of producers, when I was doing it a lot, sending me beats. So
hmm.
it was quite strange, coming back again, but I don't really know what's happening. I've lost a lot of contact, lost a lot of, producers and things like that. And then I'm asking people, can you make me a beat? But the game's changed now, because before people were giving out beats, it wasn't really a big deal. But
hmm
then I came back into it now and everything is very money orientated.
Facts.
So people are taking long, people are not really taking it serious. So I thought, you know what, I've always wanted to learn this thing. So perfect time to do it. So I started teaching myself. Then I released my first track. The first one was what? I can't even remember the name now. That's terrible. When I came back, it was Drawn Out. Yes, it was a song called Drawn Out. I produced that myself, and that was basically like my reintroduction
Mhm.
into the music. And it was kind of like a rebirth in a sense. Because when I left doing music, my content was more or less it was the opposite. I was still quite young. I was still, involved in certain things you really shouldn't be. I didn't have the responsibilities of children, a
Right.
wife, you
Yeah.
know.
hmm.
So
Life different time.
Yeah, exactly. Completely different, and so my content had to kind of, adapt to that as well. So I found myself not really being able to speak on certain things anymore because I'm not doing those things anymore.
Thanks.
Mm,
Not living a certain lifestyle anymore. And my reality was very different, and even the way my thought process was a lot different as well. So that was kind of like my rebirth, and the song was saying like I don't want to get drawn out. It was
Hmm.
basically talking about, being in this new situation in my life and not wanting to be drawn out by anything that would make me like basically risk it, you know,
mm,
putting myself in a position or going to places that might compromise my position.
Hmm.
And
mm,
yeah, it just kind of snowballed from there, and then I released an EP called Growing Pains. If you haven't heard it, you guys should check it out. I think it was a 4-track EP, and that kind of just solidified where I am now in a sense. The EP kind of it starts off with a song called Gratitude. Even it features my dad's in it. Just
mm,
giving a
mm.
few words.
Right.
What it was for him to be a father. Because I was born in Nigeria. I came here when I was 10.
You
To
took my
join my
question.
camp.
You took my. I was just about to ask you when did you move over there?
Yeah, so I came here when I was 10, to the UK because I was living back home. It was me, my mom, two brothers, and my older sister. It
Mhm.
was just my mom. So I didn't live with my dad till I came to the UK. And prior to that, I think I saw my dad maybe once or twice when he came back home. First time, I think I was about 5, I can remember. So he, gave a little monologue about that. And then the last track on the EP was called Chapters, and it goes through the whole motions of, when I was in Nigeria, then when I came here, and like my teenage years, kind of trying to find who I was. Because, you come from a foreign country, and, the age of 10 is a very weird age because you've already started to kind of identify who you are. But
Mm,
then you're kind of taken out of this place that and then you're somewhere else for a better life, but you miss your home.
Mhm.
It's a very strange place because I didn't really understand how things worked here.
mhm.
And then you're still at that age where you're very easily influenced.
Right,
Right.
So,
right.
you're trying to fit in, with everything else. You're trying to fit in with how things work. And then I also speak about like my teenage years, going down the wrong path, and then it then ends with where I was then,
Right.
having my first kid, and yeah, so it's been a journey. So that's basically more or less, um, yeah, about myself.
Okay.
Mhm,
Well, let me ask
Yeah,
you a question. So,
of course.
being across the pond,
Yeah.
how do you feel hip hop or Brit hop, as some call it, is different from American hip hop? I think for us, when we came up, because Dre and I came up during the golden age when it first formed,
Mm.
and I think that there was this love for hip hop and just this embracing of it as a culture. I think nowadays that's long gone. Do you still think that where you are now that they take hip hop a little more seriously than we do over here?
Um, to be honest, I feel like with American hip hop, because it's been around for so long, like it originated
Right.
there, but it's evolved so much. And like you said, it's kind of gone so far from obviously where it started, you know. But that's kind of normal with anything, especially as
Hmm.
the new generations come up, they kind of put their spin on things, and then the new one come up and they put their spin on
mhm,
things.
Right.
So with us in the UK, we're still kind of babies when it
mm,
comes to hip hop, So
Right.
I don't feel like we really had that pure, raw, unfiltered or untouched version of hip hop,
Okay.
mhm,
because it didn't start with us, but we adopted it because we related a lot with the struggle,
Thanks.
we related a lot with the need for expression, you know, because even when it started, like with grime, for example, grime was very gritty, you know, it was very raw, it was very like on change, it was just pure rage, you know, and it started with like pirate radio stations, so even the mainstream was not trying to hear it. When grime was being played in the clubs were getting locked off, you know, the police was saying you can't play certain tracks because it was just that raw,
Right.
young demographic, you know. And I feel like that unfiltered raw rap is still there in the UK, but along with everything else, it's also evolved, you know,
Of
with like
course.
the young boys. So it goes from being I'm speaking my truth and, you know, expressing myself, injustice, you know, all of that. But then it also then goes into money and
Of course.
girls and this and, do
Right.
you know what I mean? So it's also
Right.
left that bit as well. But hip hop here is big, man. Like rap, you know, it's huge here. Like it's huge here. But like you also have like the sets like drill, for example. You know, we all know it originated. Well, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because obviously I'm in the UK. Like we know it originated from like Chicago. But the thing is, the drill in Chicago is very different from drill we hear now, especially like with the beats as well. It's very different from like Chief Keef times to obviously what we hear now. But then when drill kind of came to the UK, it took on its own form. So we started a whole, you know, the 808 slides and all that crazy stuff. And then a lot of it got adopted with like New York as well. Because
Right,
the
right.
Yeah.
producers for a lot of them, like the early New York kind of drill, were from the UK. Yeah, so they made all those type of beats. That's why it's so similar. Like even with Pop Smoke, some of his biggest hits, the producer was from the UK. So that's why it's very similar in that sound. But it's the same here. So drill is really big here at the moment. The whole sampling culture has kind of done a 360. It's back now, you know, 180, should I say. It's back to like the heavy samples,
Right.
you know, things like that right now as well. So the influence is definitely still there.
That's what's up. Hey, I want to say, give a shout out to Brandon Bazel. Rodney's in the house. Open mic with OTR Mike. What's going on, fellas? And speaking of Brodney, so Brodney, we do shows together. He has his own channel, Let's Break Hot Take. Shout out to him. He introduced me to Pete and Boz. Have you listened to listen? Them old dudes can spit.
Yeah. P and Bass, they're legends, man.
Yes.
They're legends. And that's one thing I was saying as well. When I was speaking to my man. It's like one thing I love about rap and just music in general is the ability to cross borders and boundaries, you know. Like look at Pete and Bass, you know, just white dudes, old dudes from the UK. But once you know, if you just see them, you might think like, what is this? But once you listen to them, you're like, ooh, I
They
listen
got
to them
bars.
Yes,
bars.
they do. Yeah,
I
yeah.
listen to them and I think, wow, I can't even write that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm thinking, I need to level up,
Right.
you know.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
that's the beauty of music and just the beauty of rap, you know.
Speaking of music, man, I ain't gonna hold you. I've been listening to the skate one all
You
weekend,
talking
bro.
about this behind me? This is playing behind me? Oh, that? Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I absolutely love it. So, what was the inspiration behind it?
Yeah, I feel like Escape Room, a lot of it, you know, it's within its name, you know, Escape Room. So basically, I made that beat. It was kind of not even really a throwaway beat, you know. I was at night one time, I was just making a beat, and I said, you know, I want to make something that's more of a freestyle type of beat without a hook, without you know the typical type of like structure to it. Just something I can just talk, just you know, speak on, you know. And then I put it on my beat stars anyway, because I always do that just in case someone wants to get it as well. You know, I put it on my beat stars. But then later on, I was like just listening to it, and then the bars just kept on coming. Because prior to this track, I released something called Haunted, you know, and because at the end of last year, I had like an incident where I kind of like lost myself a lot. So I was away. I was in hospital for like a month, you know, just literally just going through it, you know. And then when I made Haunted, it was to basically reflect on a lot of things that I learned while I was away in hospital, while I
Mhm.
was dealing with, the issues I had. And then I've always been kind of stuck, you know. I don't know if you guys have ever had this feeling of kind of wanting to go back,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Always.
you know,
Yes.
and the fact that you can't go back kind of
Mm,
hurts. Like it's kind of like this deep, numbing kind of pain, that you kind
right.
of want to go back and change something or just want to
Mm-hmm.
be a bit younger again and just do certain things different. But
Absolutely.
the fact that you can't go back is very painful. So you're kind of stuck in this limbo type
Mm,
of place, So that's a lot of things I was dealing with. Like I said, I was away in hospital for about a month, still dealing with those, issues now. So I made Haunted. And with Haunted was basically just speaking about that. And then when I made Escape Room, so Escape Room slightly touches on that, but it's kind of starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So it's basically kind of like escaping that,
mm,
that place that I was, So Haunted was very dark and very deep, and an escape room, even though it's still
That's
deep,
what's up.
the beat is still it's a bit more upbeat. And at the end of it, the way it ends, it's a lot more like yeah, like coming out of the other side.
mm-hmm.
An escape room to me, it was a big deal to actually make this track because it was more of accepting what
Mm,
was and basically now looking forward to what could be,
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
rather than being stuck in what was and then
Mm,
affecting my future and affecting my present, So
mm,
that was the
Hmm.
whole story behind Escape Room. And yeah, I wrote it. It was based. I wrote it like on the spot. When you just hear
mm.
something, because that's
Right.
the thing
Right.
with me when it comes to writing. I find it hard to write just for the sake of writing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't just put on. Some people are really good at that. They can just put on a beat and just write.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of have to feel it in the moment,
Right.
and it has to be right. I can't really just put on beat and just write bars. That's just not how I work. So when I started writing, I wrote
Mhm.
the first line, and I was like, "Ooh,"
Yes.
that opening line
Mm-hmm.
was so like powerful
Mm-hmm.
and so impactful to me that everything else just kind of rolled off it,
Mm,
and it
mm,
allowed me to just tell a story in a way that wasn't too sad, because obviously a lot of my
Mhm.
tracks that I make are quite deep, but
mm-hmm.
I'm also aware in the back of my mind that everyone has a hard life anyway. Not
Mm-hmm.
everyone wants to deal with a hard life and then come and then listen to more hard life,
Right.
you
Mm,
know. So as
mm,
much as I want to tell my story, and to me, music is therapy. It's just a way of me expressing myself. I
right.
also want to let people know that although things are bad,
Mm-hmm.
everyone's dealing with stuff,
Mhm.
but there is also a light at the end of the tunnel. There's also an escape room for
Mm-hmm.
them. Like a
Mm,
typical escape room. You look for the key, you might be in the shoe, but at
right.
the end of the day, there's an out.
Mm-hmm.
You keep doing it, and there's an out. You keep grinding, there's an out, and I feel like that's what escape room was for me. So it's kind of a way of me just you know dealing with everything from Haunted, and now now I'm ready. I'm
Mm,
ready to live.
mm,
Like I'm ready to live my life now and just accept my reality and then do
Right.
everything I can to then improve on that and then just move forward.
All right. So, like Brandon said, we're glad that you made it through to the other side. And just like with any escape room, you take the obstacles that are given to you, you overcome them,
Mm,
and once you escape that room, you claim your prize. So,
yeah,
hopefully, now that you've come through the other side, you get what's coming to you.
yeah,
So,
hundred
shout out to you,
percent.
brother.
Thank you,
mm-hmm.
brother.
No doubt, no doubt. We're gonna take a minute real quick to shout out everybody that's showing us love. B, Mike, Dane, B, Jose. Man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all already know.
Oh, I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but congratulations, Brandon Bazel, B squared. He got married yesterday. Congratulations, my brother.
Well done.
You
Congrats.
supposed
Join the club.
you supposed to be enjoying your honeymoon right now. You're not supposed to be watching those streams. That's all
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying. Tell the missus it wasn't us.
Yeah. Congratulations, bro. Yeah. All right. So, our favorite question of the show: when did
Mm.
you fall in love with hip hop?
But you know what? I fell in love with hip hop through Graham, like I said, you know. Because
Mhm.
when I came to this country at age 10, so prior to that, I've always listened to, I've always liked music, you know, like Afro beats. And before it was really called Afro beats, you know, I used to listen to a lot of like Fela
Mm,
Kuti is like a legend, you know. You know how you know, like in like Jamaica, they have like Bob Marley, for
mm-hmm.
example.
Right.
He was like
Yes.
our equivalent of Bob Marley in
Hmm.
Nigeria, you know.
Mm,
Like he was really big. He did shows all over the every, you know, in the west, in the east. He was really big, and he was always very prominent, speaking up against, you know, like police brutality in the country, you
mm,
know, government corruption. So he went through a lot, you know, the government locking him up, beating him, putting him in hospital, things like that. So he was very outspoken. And you know, when I was still in Nigeria, I used to go to my grandma's place, you know, God rest her soul.
mm,
And she used to listen to music on like, you know, like the old vinyls, like the really
Yeah.
old ones. And she used to have like these massive speakers. And I just remember just always being there, just listening to the music, the beats, and just, you know, it does something to you, you know, and listening to
mm,
this thing from really young. And because when I was young as well, I grew up in like under military rule for a lot of the time. So I used to go back and forth, you know, democracy, then the military come, you
Mhm.
know, do a coup. So it was really tough, and then when we moved to the UK, one of my family friends introduced me to this thing called Graham, and it
mm,
was a crew called So Solid. And that time they had a song called 21 Seconds. I remember listening to this, and I was just thinking, like, ooh, this is, you know, it's different.
mm,
And then from there, I just fell in love with it. And the thing is, even in Nigeria, with the limited access we had, we still listen to a lot of hip hop.
mm.
You know, um, you know what's that song? After Biggie died. Na, 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 na,
Oh,
na. Yeah,
yeah.
me missing. You know
Missing
that?
you.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
used to always
yeah.
play on the
Mhm.
TV
Mm-hmm.
all the time. Even we had a lot of Jay-Z used to play as well, but we didn't know these artists, but we just knew the songs,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
you know. So hip hop has always been a thing, you know. We used to rap in Nigeria, even though you know the accent is very different. So we're rapping, but we're getting a lot of the words wrong. Do you know what I mean? We're repeating stuff, but
Uh,
we're getting a lot of the words wrong. And I
mm.
realized that later on when I moved, you know, to the UK, and I was thinking, oh, that's not what they're saying. But it was always it was always a big thing, you know. Even
Right.
like the old school Afrobeats artists, you know, they used to wear like the baggy jeans, you know,
Mm,
like the
Mhm.
jerseys, you know, with
mm-hmm.
the NY hats and
Mm-hmm.
Right.
bandana in the pocket, you know, little things like that. So we've always very influenced
Mm,
by by the US. You know, it's always been a big influence around the world. And then when I started doing grime, but I started hearing rappers as well. I was listening to a lot of rap, and then people like Nas. You know,
mm,
listen to people like Nas. You know, that's when I really fell in love with the art of storytelling.
mm-hmm.
You know, it's just that, you know, because I was very big into poetry as well. That's something
Mm,
I did when I was young, quite young in my early teens as well, like poetry. And then when I was in uni, I'll say I really fell in love with it when I was in uni. My friend introduced me to like J. Cole, you know, when he was just
mm,
coming up, you know, short
mm-hmm.
hair and everything.
Right.
And even with Drake, you know, when they were like you know, it was J. Cole, Drake. They used to
Mm-hmm.
come to the UK, do little shows before they
Mhm.
really, you know, blew up. And like from them, I just really fell in love with it. But then I fell in love more with like the conscious
Mm,
rappers. You know,
mm-hmm.
that's why I really like J. Cole. I like
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick. I'm not the biggest fan. I think he's all right, but it's just not really my taste. I know it's, you know,
Facts.
that's like, you know, you can't say that, you'll get crucified and that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
False. Because I'm
But
with you, bro. He's
Yeah.
but
decent. He's decent, but he go
yeah,
too left sometimes. Like
yeah, like it, I'm not saying he's not good, because you
he
know
is good.
he's good. You know, he's
Mm-hmm.
he's amazing. But taste wise, I prefer someone like J. Cole,
Mm-hmm.
like Jonah Lucas,
Mm,
like those guys. You know, they influence me a lot. Like I listen to their music on a daily. when I'm trying to get inspiration, like Tupac, for example. That was something that everyone listened to, even in Nigeria. It's Tupac, Biggie as well. Even when they passed away, it was a big
Right.
thing in Nigeria. That's all the way. It was a big thing that everyone was talking about. So
Number 12.
yeah, I've always been in love with hip hop, to cut it short. But guys like J. Cole, Tupac, that type of music is what really, you know, everyone likes the whole bang bang shoot 'em up every now and
Right.
then,
Right.
But not
but
all the time.
not all the time. But what I really love, what I can put on and just, vibe to, would be like J. Cole, Tupac, that type of vibe. Joe Lucas, I love, bro. Is to me right now, I feel like he's the GOAT. His
He's
art of story, yeah, his art of storytelling to me is just phenomenal.
yeah.
That to me anyway, just the art of storytelling. If I can listen to a rapper and then I can vision everything they're saying, yeah, to me, that's it.
Yes. I agree, man. Joyner Lucas, man, lyrically he's a beast. And he do put you in that mindset when you listen to his material. Very awesome guy. Very awesome material. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, what you got coming up? Anything coming up?
Right now, I'm working with a singer, so I'm trying to just diversify my music a little bit. So I'm working with a singer at the moment. So I made a beat, I've sent it to her. So we're just bouncing ideas back and forth. So it's still, around the same landscape of the type of music I make. So I'm never really gonna change that. My music is always gonna be, to me, very. It's my baby. You know, I'm not gonna change the type of music I make to try and appease everyone. I'm very well aware that the type of my music I make is not for everyone. I'm very aware of that, and I'm fine with that. I'm very aware that not everyone's gonna get in their car and just bang out Escape Room, because it's a deep song. I'm aware that it's not gonna play in a club. You know, it had a national radio play last week, which I was surprised about. I got the
That's what's
email
up.
from BBC introducing, like, we're gonna play a song. I was like, really? Oh, fine. I wasn't
Awesome.
expecting that. They did that, but my type of music, I don't. It's not gonna change, but I'm just gonna make it a bit more accessible. So I'm working on a song now. I'm thinking of calling it Young Jimah, a little bit of exclusive there. Um, I'm not too sure yet, so bouncing that back and forth. I'm also in contact with a Nigerian artist. He's been wanting to work with me since last year, but I was a bit all over the place. And I finally just got a setup. So I basically record, mix and master everything at home. I haven't got a
Awesome.
booth. Literally, I haven't got a booth. I've just got, like, my mic, the stand. I've got the foam cover thing, the pop shield, and YouTube. So literally, that's what I do, just YouTube. So I'm working on something with him as well. So I've sent him a few beats. He's just working on a few things to send back. So I'm thinking, towards the end of the year, I might work on an EP, or I might just leave that and then release a full mixtape next year, and just keep bringing out singles this year. So I've got about 3 songs in the work at the moment, and then just going with the flow. I want to do a bit more shows as well, because I haven't performed for a while, because I have like this anxiety being around a lot of people, but I need to kind of shake that off and just get myself out there as well. And I'm not sure what it's like in the States, but over here there's this type of perception that rap and music, in a sense, is a young person's thing. But when I look in the States, there's a lot of guys that are older and they're still doing it, and they've got a lot of fan base, and people still mess with their music. But here it's a bit different. I think it's just that mentality that it's like, if you're over a certain age, it's kind of like, why are you rapping? So I feel like that's something I'm even taking out of my head. Just do it because you love it. So I need to kind of get myself
Absolutely.
out there and
Right.
just put more things out. So yeah, I've got a few things in the works, but I'm just learning, I'm just growing, improving, you know, making sure my mixes are better, making sure like my mastering is better, making sure my beats are better, you know, because everything is completely self-taught. I never went to school for anything. I've never sat with anyone to show me how this works and that works. Never, literally not once. So every single thing I've done to this point is just trial and error and YouTube videos, you know. So that's the good thing about the internet these days, you know. A lot of things you need to learn is at your fingertips.
Right there.
You know, it's not like before where if you didn't know, I don't know, a plugger somewhere, you couldn't even get your music heard, you know. Now you just put it on YouTube, Spotify, all the DSPs. It's really easy now, you know. So it's not much excuses, you know.
Right. Well, you are now officially a part of the family, man. Anytime you have a project or you just want to holler at us, this is now your home, your platform for that.
So, no, I appreciate it. Like I said, man, I've been wanting, as soon as you know, you put it in that group, you know, if you want to interview, I was literally, I don't even think it took 2 seconds. I was on it straight away, man, because I'm all about trying to build with people and just like networking with people, you know. Like, you know, we were saying earlier, a lot of people like to wait until someone's doing something that's blowing. Before they get involved, you know. Everyone wants to be there at the end, but no one really wants to be there when you're starting or in the middle, you know. And I don't really think like that, because you hollered at me, and it's not like I've got thousands of followers on Instagram. I don't even have 1,000 followers on Instagram, you know. But the streams are doing really well. The people that follow, that engage, they're there. The people that are supporting are there. So it's not just about numbers. It's about I'm seeing what you're creating, because I'm looking at the screen right now. And this looks so professional. You know, it looks amazing. Like, even the intro to this looks amazing. So I respect it, man, 100%.
Thank you. Well, we greatly appreciate you.
And
we have your social media info, but share with everybody so they know where to contact you.
Yeah, man. So on Instagram, it's Mr. So MR_Jimah. So that's JIMAH. For my beats is Mr_Jimah_production. And yeah, on Spotify or any of your, you know, streaming network, just type in Mr. Jimah. Everything will come up. YouTube, Mr. Jimah, everything will come up. I've got lots of beats as well. So if you're an artist, you want to lease some beats, I've got beats there, rap beats, I got drill beats. Or if you just want to work on something, you know, together, just let me know. We can work together. I'm easy, man. So yeah, that's how you can, you know, find me. And you know, if you do message me and I do take a little bit of time to reply, I do apologize. I've got 3 kids, almost 4 now.
And the time difference.
You know, and the time difference, you know. So it does take me sometimes, you know, a bit of time to kind of get back to people, because obviously I've got a busy life or a busy family and stuff. But I'll always get back to you, and we can always work, you know.
No doubt. But listen, I'm glad that you stopped by and hung out with us. I appreciate it. Like, videos in the background, make sure you hit YouTube, check him out. I think you even did a video going behind the scenes of how you made the beat, if I'm not mistaken.
I did a 5-minute video just breaking down the beat as well, you know. And if you get a chance as well, just check out the video for Haunted. I literally did it all myself. So this camera that I'm using to film this, I did it all myself, filmed it in my living room, edited it all on my iPhone. You know, literally all. I don't have a gimbal, so I was holding the mic, the tripod in front of me.
You gotta do what you gotta do when you gotta do it.
To get the shots, you know, just to show, like, to me, I love this, you know. You can't always wait for things to be perfect to do something, you know. So
Dre and I have conversations all the time about waiting. Listen, we're too old in life, and there's too many things that's going on around us to sit back and wait on things. And we've had the discussion about, oh, am I too old to do this? You're never too old to follow your passion. And me personally, I get the anxiety. Like, I'm a very personable person, but I don't like big crowds. I'll do it if I have to do it, but you just got to go for it. And, you know, my success to you in the future. Listen, we all got a path, and we all cross paths for a reason.
Yeah, 100.
You know what I mean? All these things are intertwined, and there's a purpose and a reason for it. And like you said, you like to see people that come in doing the ground up, or maybe in the middle, because you don't want to wait till somebody pops off and then you trying to coat ride to something else. So to that, I tell Dre all the time, when it comes to these numbers, Because me and Instagram, I might have 200 followers, 300. I don't know
Mm.
how many. But when I tell Dre all the time, all that is ego for us.
Yeah,
I don't care about a number. It's about the engagement of the people. Are they enjoying what we're doing? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Are they following us? Are they interacting in the chat? That's what's most important. These numbers don't mean nothing but something to fulfill and float our ego and,
yeah,
and
100.
blow it up. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, you got my support, and whatever you do, I'm there.
No, I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you once again for having me on. It's been amazing, man. It's been amazing. Now I know how to use my camera and set up a live, so that's a plus, you know. I
Facts.
really
On,
appreciate it.
no doubt. You know, this ain't your last visit. Open
No,
door
100.
policy. You know. So
Yeah,
any,
whenever you want me back, I'm here, man.
love, bro.
Indeed.
Any parting words for us?
Sorry.
Any parting words for us?
I just want to say, man, to everyone that's watching, you know, whatever you're dealing with, man, trust me, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, you know. Like, don't ever feel like you're the only one dealing with it. Like I said, I was in the hospital for a month. Like, it was a really dark time, you know. So if anyone has said
Mhm.
to me then, you know, would you be here right now speaking to you guys? I would have said no, because I was done, you know.
Right.
And then look now, I'm having my fourth child. I'm having
Mm,
my first son. You know, there's
mm,
when you're dealing with that dark cloud, it's so hard to see past that. But
mm,
trust me, man, just hold on, hang on, and you got this, man. If you got a dream, like you were saying, it's never too old. You
mm-hmm.
know, it's only too late once you've passed on. You know, as long as there's
Facts.
life, there's hope. You know, so
Mm,
just keep doing your thing. Just keep doing your thing. You never know who's watching as well. You
Fact.
never know
This
who's
is true.
watching.
right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Hendo,
Is there?
any parting words, good brother?
Nah, not really. Just make sure everybody like, subscribe, check out the video, check my man out here. He's got some
Mm-hmm.
very dope content on there. Make sure you sign up to the Patreon. It's over
Mm-hmm.
here. It's right there.
There you go.
Patreon.com/Mr. Galloway. Sign up, get some special perks. Listen, I was thinking possibly, maybe an idea to kick around for the future. We can kind of do a creative spotlight.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? We got the Instagram group. There are other people that we see on on Facebook and YouTube, and we'll do a creative spotlight where we
mm-hmm.
highlight their music. Give a couple of snippets of what they got going on. So either we'll do that once a month, or we'll add it to the Patreon. So make sure y'all sign up. Come hang out with us.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah. Speaking of which, man, dope website. You want to expound on the website?
Huh? You talking about mine?
Yes.
I mean, I figured, what, with everything else going on and with what we're trying to build, I just created a website, and it's theroguepod.com. It has all of our information, mine, yours, Suge, Ferris, Lunch Break Hot Take, Open Mic with Hotel Mike, Chris Just Joking, Coach Evans with Sally. It's a one-stop shop. So you can just go in there, you click on anything. It's very interactive. It has links to events that are going on, like the August 4th meet and greet. So August 4th, Columbia, Maryland. We're having a meet and greet with all of the content creators where you can come in, get some free food, some free drinks. We're giving away prizes. There's a swag bag that we're giving away. It's a lot of stuff going on to help promote what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? There are going to be other things in the future that we're doing. And, we're trying to build a conglomerate, not just of content creators here. We're just trying to build something. And we're trying to take over all of these social media platforms. So, the website is just the start of it. I'm going to improve it, do some things, and we're going to get your website up and running pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? And like you, Mr. Jimah, anytime you need help with anything, you know where to find me.
Yeah, 100%. Same, man. If you got anything you need me to watch, to promote, just let me know. I'm easy, literally. Anything you need that I can help with, I'm here, man. That's what everything's about, just helping each other, building with each other. There's
Right.
no ego here, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you need me to
Facts.
help you with, just send me, and then
No doubt.
you already know anyway.
Yeah.
Anything you need me to help you promote, whatever it is, I'll be there.
Right. And that's what I keep telling these people. Like, we all can win.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's no competition where I gotta blow up and he gotta suffer.
Mm-hmm.
We all can win at this game, as long as we put our egos aside and we all play our part. I don't care what part I gotta play, but just know this time next year we're gonna be on something.
Facts.
No, 100%, 100%. I'm excited, man. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever been on anything like this, and you know, you guys might think, oh, it's not a big deal, but to me, it's everything. Like it's everything. I've already told my mom. I sent a message to my mom earlier. I was like, I'm gonna be doing this. She's like really happy about it.
Right.
Every little thing to me, it's a lot because I appreciate it because I know exactly where I was last year. I know exactly where I was born. I know exactly everything
Right.
I've had to do to kind of get here. So things that might seem like it's not a big deal to other people, to me, I appreciate it. Every breath I take, every little thing I do, every view, everything, to me, it's like a million. So I appreciate it, man.
No doubt. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, I don't get excited about much, but I was excited about this episode because we normally, especially being from Baltimore, we are a people that normally deal locally. Like we do everything locally. We don't really stray too far from the nest. And for me, just getting an outside perspective outside of the United States, especially on hip hop and just other things that we'll probably get into later on. Like for me, I love learning. I love learning different cultures, seeing how other people and getting their perspective on things. So for me, I was looking forward to this. Like I don't get to. He'll tell you, I don't get too excited about much. Like, don't too much move me, but just learning certain things. It just like brother, you don't realize how much I appreciate you taking the time out on I don't know if it's your day or night where you at, but it's literally the afternoon for us. I just appreciate you taking the time out with us.
Yeah, it's like 5:42 at the moment.
Whew.
Yeah, because he had to move it down because normally when you guys are on, it will be about 3 a.m. for me.
Right.
And to be honest, I was down. I already said, I'll stay up and do it. But he was like, nah, let's do it. Let's do it at a decent time for you,
Yes, no doubt, no doubt. Well, my parting words is, man, this is bigger than rap. This is hip hop. This is a culture. We've been telling y'all that forever. And no longer am I going to say it. We just going to show y'all.
100.
Listen,
you
know what I mean?
What we tell them, Dre? Hip hop is the religion.
Facts.
Rap is the gospel.
Absolutely. No doubt.
I like that. I like that.
So until next time, hope all is well. We out.
Take care, people.